Hey guys, Conservative Video Dipper here. I wanted to do a video today on what happens if things don't go right, either during my video planning or my editing or actually filming. So if something happens, whether it is video planning, sometimes I just got to adjust. There's a lot of times where I just got to look at it and say, okay, I wanted to do that, but I can't. So plans have changed. So I just adjust and adapt. When it comes to being a YouTuber, you have to learn adaptability and also learn accountability. Take yourself a little moment to hold yourself accountable. Did you make a mistake? And if you made a mistake, how can you correct it? And if it wasn't your fault, what do? You just adapt and adjust and work and move on, whether it is editing or filming. So prime example, I'll give you one great example. This Grizzly Long Cut Dark Wintergreen dip review that was on my live. Now I could have edited the hell out of that, just down to me doing the intro and me having a few seconds of me bitching about it and then cut it off and then call it good. But I didn't. I kept the whole 20 somewhat minutes of me bitching about it because it was authentic. It was the authenticity of that video of me showing you guys that I was upset. I was unpleased with it. I was unhappy with it. And that was probably the first time actually that I've had a problem with Grizzly, besides some of the other stuff that I don't like about it, besides the straight and the mint that I don't like. But normally I've never had a problem with Grizzly Dark Wintergreen Long Cut, and this is my first time having a problem with it. Now I could have probably cheated a little, cheated you guys out of it, opened up a can and peeked inside and said, nah, not doing it. But I didn't. I decided not to cheat because that's not me. So, I wanted you guys to see the actual reaction of me opening the can and what happened. Now, again, I could have edited the hell out of that thing to make it just so short that you guys could have probably memed the fuck out of it and turned it into the worst meme possible, or made me look like a complete dumbass that I felt like. But I decided not to, because that was the whole bit right there, was the fact that I was upset and not acknowledging that, wow, I thought normally all of my times that I've had Grizzly, either the regular wintergreen or the dark, I've never had a problem. But now I'm bitching about it, and now I'm complaining because something did go wrong. But at the end, I realize it's dip. So even though it's not one of my best moments in dip history, I still am going to dip it. Don't get me wrong. It's dip. I don't like it, but I'll still dip it. Who cares? Right? Move on. It's what it is. See, sometimes bitching about things and complaining about things don't really do much for you, other than it just makes you really sound intellectual. It doesn't make you sound good. But, okay, I guess you guys could say, well, Conservative, what about, prime example, the live stream? You didn't sound very good when you were bitching about the Grizzly Dark Long Cut Wintergreen. Sure, I may not have sounded very professional or very good, but guess what? I was pissed. And I had a right to be pissed, right? I'm human. But whether it's bad things happen during editing, during filming, or pre-planning of before me filming, if something goes wrong, I'm going to have to always adjust, or I'm just going to go with it. Because you guys need to see what happens. And it's the fun. It's half the fun. Sure, it's not fun for me sometimes because misery loves company, and apparently I had to be miserable this week. So, whatever. Lottie-toddy frickin' da. I had to deal with it. And I still have to deal with it until I get my next paycheck from work. Then I can go actually buy long-term wintergreen that I like, that I'll be pleased with, and I'll have a pleasant experience with. But I'm not going to waste my time trying to worry so much about, oh, what's going to please 1,000 other people that I know that I can't please. See, what I do here is I do what I do best, and I love what I do. I know that some of you may not like what I do. Some of you may like certain things that I do and may not like other certain things I do, and vice versa with many ultimate other things that I do on here. But I do what I do best. I adapt and I adjust. I quickly realize at the end of the day, when you're a YouTube content creator, sometimes, not all the time, but things don't work out very well. And you gotta kind of use that big noodle brain of yours and think, well, okay, that was a shot in the dark I tried, or that didn't go very well. What do? Well, I gotta do something else. I could always do anything else, right? I could always go from A, B, and C and find something in there that brings me a little bit of comfort or brings me happiness that I like to do. Whether it's politics, vlogging, like what I'm kind of doing now, where I'm ranting a little, or I'm actually teaching you guys about editing. So, whether you're editing, whether you're pre-planning, or something happens during the middle of whether your live stream or your video, you always got to be willing to adapt. Because if you can't adapt or adjust, then you really don't need to be on YouTube. Because YouTube is about content creating. It's not about clickbait and trying to be phony and try to get your view counts from people that just really are loyal clickbait lovers. You got to be authentic. The more you're authentic, the more your viewers will understand that, yeah, you're human, but you're really good at adapting and adjusting and learning how to do different things than just that one thing. And also, it doesn't just help your viewers understand that, but it helps you mentally be able to be prepared. So there's always that plan A, plan B, and plan C. So you have a couple plans, so if something does go wrong with plan A, you got plan B. Well, if plan B doesn't work out, you got plan C. And hopefully plan C does not have any problems. But if plan C has problems, then you go to plan D. Whichever plan that would be, you can figure it out. You know how to adapt. By that point in time, you're willing to understand that not only your adaptability is not really subpar, but it's up to par with what you should be as a content creator. So me having to adapt with having a really bad time with that grizzly dark wintergreen, long cut wintergreen, I had to adapt to it and understand, maybe I should make the best out of the situation and not bitch about it, and be thankful that I have dip in general. And I am thankful that I have dip in general. So I'm not going to waste it and throw it down the toilet like I thought I would. I'm going to dip it because that's my dip. Yes, it's grizzly. Yes, it's dark. Yes, it's warm dirt. And it's very, very unsharpened chainsaw sawdust, warm dirt. But it's still dip. I'm going to adapt. I'll maybe learn. Maybe it'll one day get me to actually do snuff. Grizzly snuff. Who knows? Or Copenhagen snuff. Who knows? Maybe it might help me understand how to work with it a little bit better. See? There's always a little light at the end of the tunnel that you can learn from. And that's what being a YouTube content creator is all about. Is learning that sometimes there's light at the end of the tunnel where you least expect it. And always, don't always think the negative things of life. When you look at negative things in life, sure, bad things are happening now, but guess what? In the background, good things are about to come up and appear in front of you when you least expect it. So whether you have to adapt in editing or pre-planning or during your filming, you are able to learn how to be better and do things differently. And you never know. Sometimes you can actually make a few funny jokes out of it, like I have today. I'm kind of laughing at myself right now, thinking about it, honestly. You know, I really did sound like an idiot. And I know I did. But guess what? That's okay. Because I know sometimes I'm an idiot. And you just gotta laugh at the dumb things you do, right? Right? So it's not always going to be a bad thing when things go wrong. You just always got to look at it from a different angle. Think, okay, maybe that was never meant to be. Maybe that was never meant to happen. You always try to be optimistic in life. Because if you're always a Nancy Downer, no offense to Nancy Pelosi, big no offense, I mean all offense, I hope. But, you know, if you're a Nancy Downer all the time, life is really going to be not roses and sunshine. And you're going to feel like every time something's trampling over you, you're not going to know how to pick yourself up and be able to look at it in a positive light. And you should always look at it from that angle. See, yes, life is never going to always be sunshine and roses. Of course, that's life. Life is going to throw punches at you. Yeah, watch a fat guy try to do Rocky Balboa moves. Great. Oh, good job, conservative. You're going to be definitely out of breath and breathing like a damn cow in about 3 minutes. But anyway, sure, sunshine and roses isn't life, but you know what? Like Ron White once said, if life gives you lemons, just make lemonade with a little vodka. You might have a happy time or a happy ending, depending on how you want to end it. So, try to make the best out of life. I have to. When things don't go my way, whether I'm, again, filming, editing, or pre-planning, I always have to, come up with the best life situation scenario and think, well, if those were not meant to happen, then try to figure out what was mentally in my brain meant to happen. What is it that I need to do? Am I missing the bigger picture? I always kind of think of life as like a Rubik's Cube sometimes. You just gotta move the cube different directions and try to figure out how to solve it. Sure, you're never gonna solve life, but you gotta figure out how to solve the puzzle by using your brain. And that's kind of the whole thing of this, is if you don't know how to use your brain, then what the hell are you doing? Really, seriously, what the fuck are you doing? I question you. Yikes. But I'm not the one to prejudge over here, because it happens to me a lot of times. And boy, does life really kick me in the patooties. I'm serious, it really does kick me sometimes. But, sometimes I just gotta kick life right in the crotch and say, that's what you get, jackass, for doing that to me. By doing something better. Not bringing the negative out of something that could be positive. I just look at it differently. Maybe I'm just optimistic, I don't know. Or maybe it's just I'm a weirdo. At least I'm not a creep. I'm not a weirdo. And I do know what the hell I'm doing here. Yeah, but anyway, you gotta make the best of life. And that's with anything. Sometimes when things don't go right or your way, you gotta always look at it from a different point of view. Don't think of it as a negativity. Because if you, again, go back in life and people will remember you for who you are. If people look at you and say, man, this person never really did much other than when life just kicked him in the balls, he laid there like a bitch and took it. Instead of getting up, kicking life in the balls, and make life lay down and take it. You want to be remembered for the best of you. And that's what I always try to be, the best of me. I don't try to change for no one. I don't try to be any better for no one. And I don't ask much of anything from anyone. I just do what I can to make life my best and easiest way possible to be my bitch, if you know what I mean. So, that's how you deal with it. So just think that way, folks. Stay safe and stay blessed. Pack a dip, pack a lip, and as Outlaw would say, see you in the next video. Pack, dip, and spit, y'all. Bye.